Okay, so here's the big question. Will she run for president? So here's my counter to everything you're saying.
Yeah.
She already has the money. She already has the celebrity. She already can afford all those fancy clothes that you talked about. She already has influence in many ways with all the money she's making at Netflix documentaries and stuff like that. Why bother? Why does she want to deal with trade negotiations with Taiwan and deal with dictators around the world when she already has all the trappings of having been the first lady?
Well, look, Michelle Obama is what we call a political animal. She is politics. She grew up in politics 20 years before Barack did with her precinct captain father. She grew up in Jesse Jackson's house when he was running for president. Michelle marries a politician. She marries her father. So look, even Barack had a ton of money from his book sales and influence as a U.S. senator, but he wanted to run for president. It's very typical of these people that are political animals. That's all they really care about is the power and the celebrity. Michelle is a political animal. She's been, as you saw in the trailer, she's been copying everything Barack did before he ran for president. She has a voter registration organization like Barack did. She got $26 million from George Soros called for When We All Vote, like Barack had Project Vote. Michelle wrote 2 autobiographies, which are political documents. There are all these BS stories about racism and gender. Why would she do that? Michelle was the keynote speaker. She introduced Joe Biden at the 2020 convention, just like Barack did for John Kerry. The keynote speaker is the person that they give that slot because they're probably going to be their nominee at the next convention. So Michelle is following all the perfect steps, keeping a high profile, writing her autobiographies, doing outreach, doing voter registration. And, a lot of people are tainted by this comment from 2008. You might remember that Michelle was giving massive speeches to stadiums all over the country as a surrogate for Barack's campaign. Now, she was very nasty about America. She'd say things like, you can't buy food in this country, you can't afford your mortgage, you can't afford childcare, don't get sick in this country. And one night when Barack won a primary, she kind of went over the top and said, well, for the first time in my life, I'm proud of my country because Barack won a primary. For whatever reason, the media picked up on that. And all of a sudden, everyone was paying attention, how nasty she was. And the Obama campaign came to her and said, listen, we could lose because of you. Now people are paying attention to what you're saying. And so the next day, Michelle got a speechwriter and she said, oh, I hate politics. I just want to be the mom in chief. So that's kind of stuck with her, the idea that she doesn't like politics, when in fact, she's more political than Barack. She's a better speaker than Barack. In fact, both Barack and Michelle had a law professor at Harvard named Charles Ogletree. And they asked him about Michelle and Barack because he taught them in different years. And he said, between Barack and Michelle, I would have thought it would have been Michelle to run for president and not Barack. So she loves politics. That's who she is. And I do expect Biden to be moved out. Nobody wants Biden, not the Democrats, not any group. And Michelle is the obvious replacement. She's the best loved Democrat. She has the most support. She has the name recognition, and she's the most beloved person, in the country. So I think it's going to happen sometime between now and possibly all the way up to the convention.
Will Michelle Obama run for president in 2024? This is my favorite special we've ever done. It was so much fun because we had 3 historians who have very strong feelings about each other and very different answers to that question. So join us, become a supporter of The First TV, thefirsttv.com/Obama. You can watch this special. You will know more about Michelle Obama than anyone you know, and you can decide whether or not you think she will run in 2024.